In the land of Onikuku, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, Ajayi, the renowned hunter, sat on his stool with his eyes fixed on the fire burning before him. His mind was consumed by worry, his brow furrowed in concern. He had 5 sons, each with unique qualities, but one, Okpe, his youngest, troubled him the most. Okpe could be described as the epitome of laziness. He spent most of his days lounging in the shade. He had no interest in hunting, no desire to learn the skills that had made his father and ancestors great. Ajayi had tried to rouse him, to inspire him, but Okpe's love for sleep and leisure proved too strong. While his brothers, Dele, Wale, Segun and Dayo, honed their hunting skills, Okpe could be found snoring softly, his chest rising and falling with each gentle breath. His father's warning, his brother's teasing, and even the villagers' mocking gaze couldn't stir him up from his lethargy. Ajayi sighed, his heart heavy with disappointment. How could his own son, his own flesh and blood, be so indolent? He thought of his own youth, his own struggles to become the great hunter he was today. Okpe's laziness was a slap in the face, a rejection of everything Ajayi stood for. Ajayi's concerns about Okpe's future grew with each passing day. He knew that his youngest son's laziness would not only bring shame to their family, but also threaten their livelihood. The villagers relied on the Agba hunter's expertise to provide for their families, and Okpe's lack of interest in hunting would leave them vulnerable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ajayi summoned his sons to his hut. The air was thick with tension as they gathered around him, their eyes fixed on their father's stern expression. "My sons," Ajayi began, his voice firm but laced with a hint of sadness. "The time has come for me to pass on the title of Agba Hunter, but I will not give it to just anyone. I will give it to the son who proves himself worthy." Dele, Wale, Segun, and Dayo exchanged eager glances, their faces set with determination. Okpe, however, yawned, stretching his arms above his head, his eyes half closed. "I will give you all a task," Ajayi continued. "Whoever brings back the biggest game will be the next named Agba Hunter." The brothers nodded, their faces set with resolve. Okpe, however, simply shrugged, his expression showing uninterest. And so, the challenge was set. The brothers prepared for the hunt, their hearts filled with excitement and anticipation. Okpe, however, simply rolled over, closing his eyes and began to snore softly. The day of the hunt dawned, bright and early. Dele, Wale, Segun, and Dayo set out before dawn, their hearts racing with excitement. They had trained for this moment their entire lives, and they were determined to make their father proud. Okpe, on the other hand, woke up late, stretching his arms and yawning widely. He rubbed his eyes still heavy with sleep and stumbled out of his hut. "Today is the day, Okpe," his brother called out, already preparing their jar. "Don't forget to bring back the biggest game." Okpe grunted, still half asleep. Yeah, I'll try." As the brothers disappeared into the forest, Okpe ambled after them, his bow and arrow slung lazily on his shoulder. He had no intention of exerting himself, no intention of actually trying. Meanwhile, the brother moved swiftly through the forest, their senses alert, their skills honed. They tracked their prey, working together seamlessly, their movement practiced and precise. Okpe, on the other hand, stumbled through the underbrush, his eyes fixed on the ground, his feet dragging. He tripped over roots, stumbled over rocks, and cursed loudly. And then, suddenly, he heard a rustling in the bushes. Okpe's heart skipped a beat as he raised his bow, his arrow trembling in his hand. Okpe's arrow flew through the air, hitting something soft and furry. He approached the bush cautiously, his heart racing with excitement. What had he caught? As he parted the leaves, he saw a small furry creature with big round eyes staring up at him. Okpe's face fell. A rat? He had caught a rat. Just then, he heard a voice behind him. Well done, Okpe. Okpe turned to see a beautiful woman standing behind him, a smile on her face. You have caught something truly special, she said, her eyes shining with amusement. Okpe's face flushed with embarrassment. It is just a rat, he muttered. The woman laughed. Ha ha ha, but it's not just a rat. It is a magical creature, one that will bring you great fortune and success. Okpe's eyes widened in surprise. Really? The woman nodded. Yes, really. But you must take care of it, and it will take care of you. Okpe's mind raced with excitement. Could this be the key to his success? Could this small furry creature really bring him fortune and fame? He stood there thinking and wondering. As he stood there, the woman vanished into thin air, leaving Okpe alone with his unexpected catch. Okpe returned to the village, the rat perched on his shoulder. His brother stared in disbelief as he approached. What is that? Dele asked, his voice laced with disgust. It's a magical creature, Okpe said proudly. It is going to bring me great fortune and success. The brother laughed. You expect us to believe that? Wale asked, chuckling. But Okpe was undeterred. He took the rat to his hut and cared for it, feeding it and nursing it back to health. As the day passed, strange things began to happen. The rat grew and changed its body, transforming into something new. One morning, Okpe woke to find a beautiful woman lying beside him. She had long flowing hair and piercing green eyes. Who are you? Okpe asked, startled. I am the magical creature, she replied, smiling. I have been transformed by your care and kindness. Okpe's mind reeled as he stared at her in wonder. What did this mean? What had he gotten himself into? The woman, who introduced herself as Arine, explained that she was a spirit trapped in the rat's bodies by a curse. Okpe's kindness has broken the curse, freeing her. But there was more. Arine told Okpe that he was bound to her, that they were connected by a magical tie. Okpe's head spun as he tried to understand what this meant for his future. As he tried to comprehend the implication of Arine's word, bound together by a magical tide, Arine smiled as if reading his thoughts. It means, dear Okpe, that we are connected in ways you cannot imagine. Our fates are tied together, our destiny intertwined. Okpe felt a shiver run down his spine. He had never believed in such things, but the evidence was right before him. As the days passed, Okpe and Irene grew closer, their bond strengthening. They spent hours talking, laughing, and exploring the forest together. But not everyone was happy about their relationship. Dele, Wale, Segun, and Dayo grew increasingly suspicious of Irene, sensing that she was not just what she seemed. Okpe, be careful, Dele warned. We don't know anything about her. Okpe brushed off their concerns, convinced that Irene was the key to his success. And indeed, strange things began to happen. Okpe's hunting trips became more successful. His aim truer, his senses sharper. It was as if Irene's magic was rubbing off on him, making him a better hunter. As Okpe's success grew, so did the villagers' suspicious. They whispered among themselves, pointing fingers at Irene. "She is a witch," said somebody. "A spirit, not human," another claimed. Ajayi's Okpe's father called a meeting to discuss the concerns. "We must be cautious," he said. "We don't know what we are dealing with." But Okpe refused to listen. "Irene is the reason for my success," he insisted. "I won't abandon her." Irene, sensing the tension, approached Ajayi. "I mean no harm," she said. "I am here to help Okpe, to make him the greatest hunter this village has ever known." Ajayi looked at her skeptically. "Well, we will see about that," he said. As the days passed, the villagers' suspicions turned to hostility. They shunned Okpe and Irene, refusing to trade with them or even speak to them. But Okpe didn't care. He was convinced that Irene's magic was the key to his success, and he was willing to risk everything to keep her by his side. Okpe's success continued to grow, but so did strange occurrences around him. Equipment would go missing only to reappear in strange places. Some villagers reported seeing shadow figures lurking around Okpe's hut. Irene dismissed it as a mere coincidence, but Okpe began to suspect that something was amiss. One night, as they sat by the fire, Irene's eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. "Okpe, my love," she whispered, "our bond is strong, but it comes with a price." "What price?" Okpe asked, feeling a shiver run down his spine. Irene's smile was enigmatic. "You will see, but remember I warned you." The next day, Okpe went on a hunt, but his usually steady aim was off. He missed shot after shot, and the villager began to whisper that his luck has finally run out. But Okpe knew better. He knew that Irene's magic was still with him, guiding him. Or was it? As he returned to the village empty-handed, he saw Irene waiting for him. Her eyes seemed to bore into his soul, and Okpe felt a chill run down his spine. "What is going on, Irene?" he demanded. "What is the price of your magic?" Watch out for part 2. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.